Hello, dudes and lady dudes. Jean here, and I alluded to this. I flat out said it last week. The two-part about law. And then last week got busy, but today we're going to talk about the other side of law. Should law be black and white? Should it be that gray area? And um, personally, we would love to have that gray area. Oh, why were you stealing? Oh, you're hungry. Obviously you're going to steal food. That sort of thing. Should the law just be you broke this law, in excess of this amount, then we're going to come down on you. Our hearts and our brains our hearts would say, no, it shouldn't be like that. There should be room for interpretation, which we see. We see that, judges making rulings where they say, I am not going to put you in jail, I want to put you on probation. Uh, 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 you know, just things like that. The heartwarming stuff. The police officer that goes to Walmart for someone shoplifting, he buys the lady the car seat and food and raises awareness, and she's able to feed her child. Things like that. We see that. We're not as much as we'd like, even though it happens more than the media would like us to think, but we see that. Black and white doesn't really allow for that. It doesn't allow for grace, mercy, compassion, whatever you want to call it, mix of them all. But at the same time, going back to our gray situation, we also see a lot of perversion. We see a lot of, I am going to hammer you with absolutely everything, even though normally I do let the person off because I'm trying to make a point with you, and I've decided with you to make a point because I don't like you. Or the other way, it's normally I, throw the book at you, but I'm going to let you off because I, usually it's politically motivated. That's the thing, and this discernment that is in our legal system has become so perverted and corrupted that it just no longer works. This is honestly the detriment of humanity as a whole, but our everything political, everything, social, religion, all of it comes to this point where once you get human judgment involved, it becomes compromised. I forget which founding father said it. Maybe I'll find the link. Maybe I'll just let you Google it yourself. Probably do that because I'm lazy. Where it says the absolute best rule for a country is a monarch, but no monarch is trustworthy, so we need the checks and balances. Paraphrasing, probably more elegant because those people knew how to talk better than Jean does. But it's this idea where you could have the pinnacle of morality decide everything, then it would be better if they just did it. But that doesn't happen. Things would get done better. Everything would be working for one thing, but it doesn't happen. People talk about socialism, even communism, whereas like, well, this is providing for everyone. It's like, yeah, but what actually happens? I mean, the idea on paper of socialism isn't a terrible idea. We don't want people to go hungry, so the people with excess, we're just going to take that excess. And what actually happens is the politicians, their friends, the elite 1%, they take everything and then they keep it, they hoard it. Go to Venezuela, the president there is living like a king, where his people are eating their family pets. That's what happens. Church, look at churches. Catholic Church's history is full of that sort of thing. Even now, it's one of the richest organizations in the world. It's doing better. It's just had all this wealth and interest in gold and whatever builds up over time. But historically, you'd have the lowly priest would be pretty much in poverty, get just enough of a stipend just to not starve to death, whereas you get to the bishop and he's living wild and fancy free, and the people in their parishes are often destitute, except for the rich parishes, which get a lot more help because hey, they're filling the coffers. This idea that people are going to be just generous and whatever if you give them power to do it. No, it doesn't work. On the opposite side of the coin, look at capitalism. Oftentimes, pandemic response, there's been more money given by private companies than the government, which the government is actually just stealing money to give it back to you, saying, okay, I've taken 1,000 in taxes, here's 500 of it back because it's better for you to spend than for me to spend, but don't remember that. But disaster response, emergency response, hurricane, orphanages, tornadoes, all these things, that is private sector often contributes more money quicker, more efficiently. The money gets to the people rather than to people's pockets that aren't in need. And it just shows that when you don't force generosity, you actually get people more generous. When you let people do what they want, they generally tend to do good. But when you put an overarching power that has all power, absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? And so that's what happens. And so going to the legal system, that's what happens in the legal system. Man, that was a long bunny trail. But we're back here. And so that gray area of the legal system, it's not working. You know, there's this idea where, you know, common sense needs to be applied. Well, what's common sense? Well, I mean, to me, if you break into my house and you cut yourself up, you can't sue me. That's common sense. But obviously, our legal system has said otherwise. So you have to really make a black and white. Whereas now you can't just say, well, common sense applies in this situation. You have to say, okay, well, if you're actively committing a crime, you know, no other party is liable for any injuries done to you. Blah 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 blah. You know, you have to get real lawyery with it. But that's really come to the place we are. Look at the district courts to the Supreme Court. You know, the court ratings that they often go back and forth, back and forth. Why? Well, that gray zone. Going back to, well, it's all about the lawyers making money. Yeah, and the judges have the power to rule however they want. There shouldn't be 9 Supreme Court justices. It should really just need 1, because you just interpret the law just black and white. But it doesn't happen, so we have to have 9, or 9 in the States. I don't know what Canada is, because you need people all interpreting with their gray, and then you get a vote. It's a crapshoot. And so how do you fix it? I don't know. Like everything else, there's just so much corruption in it. It would take a lot of work, probably a lot of pain, anarchy, whatever, to get it right, or maybe tyranny, one or the other. But obviously, it's better to go anarchy to, you know, order versus tyranny to order, because tyranny means you put tyrants up there and they're not going to give away power. Again, Venezuela. Oh, I was voted out, but I'm not going out. Ah! Imagine if Trump did that. He loses in November. He's like, I'm not leaving. Same people who are saying, oh no, the Venezuela president, he's allowed to stay there, will be very, very mad. Anyway, so that's the 2-part law thing. The law is, we need a black and white, quite honestly, because people are fallible. They're broken. They're dumb. They're selfish. Not all of them, but all of them. So anyway, that's this video. A little bit toned down. Got my windows open. People outside. Feels weird yelling at a camera. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Try to get to that 1,000 for the draw. If you dislike this video, you can still subscribe, I guess, to try to get in that draw. But whatever. Then feed a homeless person. Let me know how many in the comments to spite me. And let me know that you put the thumbs down and you did something better with your life and your time than John did. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.